Good morning, world changers. It is day 45 of the 100 Days of Self-Discovery Challenge. As you know by now, every day I pose a thought-provoking question. I share my own reflections on that and I invite you to do the same. So the idea is that you write the question in your journal, you spend 10 minutes just reflecting on that question and you share your comments below in this video, or you can join our Change Your World personal development group, which is completely free, it's private, and it's got a growing community of people in there that are all working hard on themselves to change their world. So, and the idea of this practice is that when we have a personal development practice, when we invest time in ourselves and spend time discovering who we are and what we're about, we start to think better, and when we start to think better, we start to make better choices, and when we make better choices, we start to get better results and our world starts to change. So the idea is that if everybody was to do this, if all 7 billion people on the planet had a consistent personal development practice, then we would positively change the world. Even if we had 1 billion doing it, that would be nice. But it's very much to get you to understand not just who you are, but also the impact that you have on the world, because you know every action has a reaction. So if you can make more positive choices, and you'll get more positive results. And the only way we can do that is when we truly understand why we do what we do and we behave the way that we do. So that is a quick summary of what this discovery challenge is about. And today's question, it's a bit of a stinker, it's not pleasant, but yeah, it's designed to get you to get honest and then, you know, start working on how you can change that. So the question is, are you settling for less than what you are worth, and why? And what can you do to achieve your worth? So when I first reflected on this question, I thought, I'm no longer settling for anything. Like, if you'd asked me this question 5 years ago, 7 years ago, I would have said, I'm settling in my relationships, I'm settling in my health, I'm settling in my environment, in my career, my friendships. You know, I had some toxic friendships that I didn't have healthy boundaries with. And yeah, I was just going, oh, well, it wasn't that I was consciously thinking that's all I'm worth. It was just the subconscious pattern that was running and the inner dialogue that I was not aware of. And that's what personal development does. It makes us aware of what the subconscious pattern and their thoughts and the inner dialogue is. So, you know, I've worked on all those areas. I've been doing personal development for the last 10, 11 years. I've had a life coach that's mentored me through all of that and helped me transform every area of my life. So initially, when I looked at this question, I thought, no, I'm no longer settling, you know, it's great. However, then I got honest with myself, because that's what this is all about. It's all about getting honest and going deep inside. And the one area of my life that is completely new to me, that I am growing and changing and improving in, is business. So I have been employed all my life. You know, I've never been self-employed up until I took the plunge to leave my job after 18 years last July. And you know, I'm now working for myself. I've set up Change Your World. I put on large conferences, talks, workshops, coaching. I'm developing an online coaching program, bringing together speakers and what have you. And this is all great. It's all fantastic. You know, the feedback that I get from my conferences and my workshops is just incredible. People are so grateful that I've put it on. You know, the people that attend, they just absolutely love it. They think it's top notch, and you know, the feedback, you know, people are changing their life as a result. However, I met with a business coach just the other week, and she said something very profound to me and told me, she said, the problem is, Susie, you have set up a private business, but you're not charging private prices because you have the core values of a social enterprise. This was a huge epiphany for me, because she was absolutely right, because I am absolutely passionate about personal development and it being available to everybody. I hate the idea that somebody cannot improve their life because they do not have the funds to, to finance a self-improvement practice, a personal development practice. And I really hate the idea that it's exclusive and it's, it's for the middle classes, it's for people with disposable income, and I hate that idea. And, and I've tried to reflect that in my my conferences, because I've tried to keep the price down low, and, the fact that, my conferences, at £85 a ticket. Now, some people tell me that's way too low and I need to be charging way more than I am. However, the majority of people think that that's really high. And, so where am I settling? So I'm settling for the fact that I am not funding myself. I'm not, for the work that goes on behind the scenes. I am like a minus the minimum wage. And one, that's because I am so passionate about what I do, and I absolutely do believe in the philosophy of service before profit. I have high integrity when it comes to that, and I believe that putting on a world-class conference with world-class speakers and making it a fantastic experience, a life-changing experience. However, I'm not charging the prices, and I've got to really look at that. Now, the other challenge I have, because that's part of, it's not because I don't think it's worth it, I absolutely do. The challenge I have is that personal development is probably the hardest area to get people to engage with, because even though we all say we want to be happy and healthy, very few of us are prepared to put the work in to make that happen, and it requires consistent daily practice. And we make the mistake of, when we say I want to be happy, we often go out and seek temporary fixes. So we chase pleasure. So we go to, we go out at the weekend, have a night out with our mates, all the rest of it. We go out, we indulge in food that's, tasty food that's not probably good for us, not serving us. We take a drink, cigarette, whatever it might be, because it's all temporary happiness. It's pleasure. It gives us the feel-good factor, but it's a temporary fix. And what personal development is about is developing a long-term, permanent happiness, an inner state that does not require external substances or activities to heighten our health and happiness. And the challenge you have is trying to get somebody to spend £85 or £100 on themselves, get them to invest in themselves, to come to a conference or join a seminar or employ a life coach or, whatever it might be, because they see it, they're not prepared to invest in themselves. They're not valuing their worth. So I have that problem of going, okay, I have a minority of people that are prepared to do this, do see the worth in it. However, that's not enough to sustain my business initially in the short term. And, I've got to get creative about what I do, and that's currently where I'm at. But it is this idea of, I'm just looking at my notes there, really get, how do you engage people and get them to value themselves and see that, chasing pleasure is not going to bring you long-term happiness. And, trying to explain to somebody, because making any change and trying to improve yourself It's challenging. It gets uncomfortable because you've got to push your comfort zones, but you've got to face yourself. You've got to get honest with yourself, and sometimes that means it might mean making changes, like maybe ending a toxic relationship or a friendship, or changing your jobs, and all that comes with difficulties. And the issue is that when we're in that situation, it may be that you're like, oh, do you know what, it's just not worth the hassle, I'll just settle. However, that's a long time to be unhappy and unhealthy, and you know, how is that valuing your worth? So back to the question. I mean, some of the things I definitely do. I mean, I'm addressing this, there's no doubt about it, and I'm finding other ways to fund it so that I can still make my business, you know, anybody can tap into personal development, because I don't want to make it exclusive, and I don't want to pump up the prices so that it excludes other people, but I just need to get more people engaged, and that's going to take time. You know, it's service before profit, word of mouth. The people that have already attended my conferences are singing from the rooftops and saying how wonderful they are, and you know, I've just got to be more patient. So and I've got to find ways to fund my life currently. No, it's all fine, but yeah, so that's, you know, I've got to work on that. I don't think I what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a case that I don't value it, value my worth. I absolutely do. I just got to see the long-term game, and that's what I'm doing. So some of the things that you might want to look at, think about the areas where you are settling, you know, question your relationships, question your health, your work, your balance, your relaxation time, you know, your environment. Where are you settling, and what could you do to improve and change and achieve your worth? Because that's what it's all about. Some of the things you might want to do, the easiest thing to start with is just get some momentum, you know, action. Absolutely taking action is the key. Because you'll just stay stuck if you don't. So that's the easiest thing. Just do one small thing each and every day, which creates momentum. Think about the snowball. Rolling a snowball in the snow, suddenly it becomes a massive snowman. That's momentum. Second thing you do is very much start living it, breathing it, and believing it. Really embrace it, you know, make it your priority to invest in yourself. This is your worth you're talking about. If you're not going to value yourself, who else is going to do it for you? And make it the new norm. Make this, you know, these daily actions your habits. This is the new you. This is what you're creating. So, and like I said right at the start of this video, when we do that, it has a massive ripple effect into the environment, into the world and the universe. It creates massive positive results, because when you start changing yourself, it changes everything. So that is today's check-in. Really long one today, because I did feel that I needed to give some context to this question, because yeah, it's not an easy one, and it's really, really hitting home. I need to keep hitting home to you that it's about valuing yourself and investing in yourself, because, you know, if you don't invest in yourself, nothing is going to change. In fact, you're just going to, your current situation will get even worse and more uncomfortable. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please share on your social media channels. Please encourage other people to join the 100 Days of Self-Discovery, because the more people we get on board doing with a personal development practice, then the more we start to change the world. And that's what this is all about. So be part of changing the world. You know, you do make an impact. That's what it's all about, creating the ripple effect. So love to you all, take care, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.